How to create automations using Brevo. Hey everyone, welcome. I hope you're all doing great. In this video, I will show you exactly how to get started using automations with Brevo. Now, basically, if you don't know, automations are going to help you make your life easier. How? Is going to pretty much automate a lot of the things that you would do otherwise manually. So, for example, if someone actually subscribes to your newsletter or whatever it may be, then it's actually going to send them automatically a personalized email to them. That's just one example of what automations are and how they work. And they're basically just going to make your life a lot easier, and you don't really have to do everything manually from now on. So basically, you should get started with Brevo. Just sign up for free if you want, or you can just upgrade to the plan and just go through the steps of setting up your account. I'm not going to go through all of that. Just make sure you set up your sender, email, and all of those things, and just set up your Brevo account at first. After you add your contacts and all of those things, to get started with automations, you should, by default, when you have your dashboard view here, you should find automations right away. It should be on the left side underneath campaigns. So you can just go ahead and actually click on it. And it's going to pretty much just open up the automations tab for us, where we can actually just go ahead and create all the automations that we need. Now, basically, first, once you actually click on automations, all the automations that you have on, up and running, if you want to edit them or view them, they should all be in here, listed in here. And you can see the active ones, the paused ones, or the inactive ones, all in this space and list. Now you can just go ahead and get started with clicking on create an automation from here. Or if you have a list here instead of this, you can just go to the top right and click on create an automation. Now, if you are just getting started, I suggest that you actually go ahead and use one of the templates that are already built for you. And most likely, you should be able to find what you are looking for within these templates. Now, if not, I will show you, by the way, how to do that. If not, then you can go ahead and actually use the classic editor, where you can actually create your very own automation, which makes something unique that you choose for it to be. So basically, how it works is that there's a trigger for it, and then something else happens once that trigger is pretty much happens. So, for example, here for the most popular ones, the welcome message, which is going to be basically automatically sending the contact a email, letting them know, they're welcome to the newsletter and all those things once they actually subscribe. So a lot of people set this up, and I highly suggest that you do as well. So we can just go ahead and just start with one of the templates here. So I choose to make the welcome message. So we can just go ahead and click on welcome. By the way, before I even do that, this section is only the most popular section. There's also the all. You can see a lot of stuff here. So you can see which ones that you want. But I'm just going to go ahead and start with the most basic one, which is a welcome message. So you just go ahead and click on the actual automation template, and you can see the automation and how it's going to look like. And this is pretty much how it's also going to look like within the classic editor once you start from scratch. So you can actually go ahead and also learn how to create one using these templates. So you can see the actual main trigger is going to be the entry point, which is the contact is added to a list. Basically, they have subscribed to the form, they added their email and their name, and then is going to send the welcome email. Now there's a delay, which is wait for 2 days, and then they will send the welcome email. Now we could just click on use this automation. We just wait for it a little bit. So like I said, I highly suggest that you start off with the templates, and then you can just later on test things out with the actual classic editor where you can create your very own unique um uh what is it called, the automations. So first is going to be the name of the automation, And here, select a list. Basically, you'll need to go ahead and select the list of people that you want to send this welcome message to. Like I said, you should have already set up your Brevo account. You have set up your lists of contacts. So we can just go ahead and select a list. I'm just going to do my first list for this one and click on next. And then we need to add a delay. So the workflow will wait a specific period of time before continuing. So contacts will wait for, if you want hours, days, weeks, or months, we can just do 2 minutes before it's sent out. So we can just go ahead and click on next. And lastly, is going to be the actual email that is going to be sent to them. So we will need to select an email template that we already have. If not, we can just click on create a new email template and make sure that it is a welcome email template. Basically, just create a email template that is going to welcome all the contacts that are coming in, basically. And you can just go ahead. I'm just going to use this one, the default one. Obviously, you will need to go ahead and create a new one and make sure that it is designed the way that you want it to be and has all the text that you want it to have. So afterwards, you just go ahead and select it from here. So once that's done, you can do, I want to send a heading copy of this email. I want to choose when to send this email or use my event data to customize the email. I'm just going to leave them unchecked and click on finish. And now we can see the automation here is pretty much ready for us to use. So we can see the steps here. This is going to be the trigger. The contact is added to the list. They wait for 2 minutes and boom, this email is going to be pretty much working or sent to the contact that have just signed up. And now you just go ahead and click on activate automation on the top right. And you can see now the status is pretty much active. And now if someone actually goes to your subscription form and they actually sign up, they will actually be sent out this email. Just make sure you go to automations and go to the welcome message here. Make sure that it is active. And you can see some of the stats here: active now, started, finished, or suspended. And also if you go to the logs section here, it is also going to show you all about it in here. So workflow logs, event logs, contacts, and workflows. For email templates, you should be able to find the email templates used. And if you want to create one, you can just also create ones from here. It just makes things a lot easier for you instead of, navigating to a specific section here. So for example, this is the default template welcome mail that we have used for the automation. We can actually go ahead and edit it from here, but I suggest that you actually go ahead and create a separate one, name it welcome email, and use it for the automation. But you can also edit it from here and see how it looks like. So it's pretty much going to look like this. And you can actually go ahead and click on edit content and feel free to edit everything in here. I believe the Brevo is going to stay unless you upgrade, and you can add, your photos. Keep those. By the way, those are going to be how they personalize the data. So basically it's going to be hey, and then the actual contact name instead of this code here, basically. And now if we just go back to automations, so just if you want to make sure that you edit content from here. Anyways, we can just go back to automations. And now if you actually want to create a new automation, and for example, you didn't find what you wanted in here, we can just go ahead and click on use the classic editor, and we will go ahead and add a name for the automation. Make sure it's something that you understand. I'm just going to name it test for now, and we give it a description. This automation is going to automate something. So just make sure you add the details about what this automation is going to be used for, basically. So whether you want to allow your contacts to enter the automation more than once or not is completely up to you and depends on what type of automation that you want. So once you're done with this, you can just click on create automation. It's going to take us to the actual editor. It's just going to take a few seconds, and there you go. Now it's exactly how it looked like before. Now basically we can see the add an entry point. This is going to be pretty much the trigger of what you want the trigger to be. So basically how you want it to start, whether it's going to be an email activity, contact details, contact submits a form, which is more like the welcome email, an event happens, or website activity. We can go for an event happens. So an event happens, and we can just go ahead and custom event. By the way, those are not going to be exactly the same for you. It depends on what you choose. So for this one, you can go ahead and select a custom event. So apparently I don't really have any events in here, so I can't really do that. We can do identified contacts or whatever it may be that is going to show up for you. Let's try something else. Contact submits a form is going to ask you to obviously select the form that is going to be submitted. So we can just go ahead and do the subscription form. So more like the actual welcome email again. Okay. So if a person submits the example form that I have just created for the subscription, something else happens. You just click on the plus icon. So basically this is going to be the entry point and the trigger. Once this happens, you click on the plus icon and then you choose what happens next. Whether it's going to be send an email, which is going to be exactly like the welcome email. If you want to replicate the welcome email, you just add the waiting period. If I can just find it. Yes, there you go. Wait until or add a delay. So add a delay if you want. So we can just do, this one is going to be 5-minute delay. And then we go ahead afterwards and we send an email. Yeah, we can just go ahead and send an email, which is going to have a different template. It's not going to be welcome, it's going to be I would basically what I would do in this situation, for example, I would create a new email template that is going to be a discount. So for example, if you want to send out discount codes for people, you can just do so from here. Create an email template, make sure you have a discount in that template, and you should be able to just set this up. But instead of going through all of those steps, we can just use the welcome email template and just edit things out. So basically, you just get the idea. It's very simple and easy. Create the entry point, which is going to be the trigger, and then you click on the plus icon underneath, which is going to be what happens next. And you can also create multiple ones. So after the delay, something else happens. If you want, after the email, something else happens. So it's completely up to you and how you want it to be. And this is pretty much all there is to it. And when it comes to the automations, I hope this was very easy and clear for you to understand. So with that being said, I hope you liked this video and thanks for watching.